Okay, everybody. So today I'm going to try to show you how to make a filter for your email because I think these days we're all getting a lot of emails into our inbox, and it is very useful to be able to manage that when I mean, if you go, I don't know, me anyway, if I go just even a couple of hours without checking my messages, I'm just flooded. So this is one of my many email inboxes here. This is one of my many email inboxes, and you can see I've got a lot from Twitter, and I've got a lot from telling me that I have new members signing up on the website. So, and then I've signed up for some email lists and things like that. So you can set up filters for these so that this is not what your inbox looks like, so that you can kind of prioritize and things will show up in your inbox that you really want to see. Anything that's automated or anything that is not at the top of your priority list, you can have it automatically go to one of these folders here, for example, or you could give it a special label so that you can look at it later. So I use Gmail. There are other email clients, of course. Some of you use Outlook. So let's see, I pulled up Outlook a second ago. Here we go. Outlook does it a bit differently. So it does it through rules. They don't call them filters. There's this filter email option over here, but that's not what you're looking for. That'll just change the view of your email. It won't actually do anything with the emails. So in Outlook, it's through rules. So you just create this rule. You might want to get everything that comes from Zoom because they email me a lot. So anyone that comes from Zoom, I can search for that. And then it'll ask you what you want it to do, if you want it to mark that email as read, or if you want to delete it or whatever. So that's how you do it in Outlook. In Gmail, which is what I tend to use, I think they're called filters. So the easiest way to do this is to open an email that you want to filter. So let's look at Twitter. They send me tons of stuff. So I open up Twitter, and here's my message. I use the web browser interface for Gmail. I use it on my phone as well, but on my laptop, it's a lot easier to set up filters. So there's this little, they call it the three dots menu. Some people call it it's like a thin hamburger menu. It's three dots. So once the email is open, you tap that little menu, and there's an option that says filter messages like this. So there you go. Now it wants to know what you mean by messages like this. So it thinks that I mean any messages from this email address, info@twitter.com. But I could really set this to be anything. I could say that I don't want any messages, I don't want to see any of them with the word COVID inside the message. So I type the word COVID. Has the words means anywhere in the message. If you type it up here, it will only filter messages that have that word in the subject line. You can also filter emails from specific people. So if I wanted to, let's see, Zoom. If I wanted to, not finding anybody. Let's see, info. Yeah, you can put, it's not automatically finding. So you can put any email address in there. You can put any keyword in here. You can find only big emails or small emails by using these little features. You can only filter emails that have attachments. Whatever your options are, however you want to do the filter, you set it up in this window here. Right now, I'm going to filter emails that are from this specific address. If I wanted to do an entire domain, like if I wanted all my Twitter emails, I could just put a star instead of that info, and that would find every email that comes from any address that ends in twitter.com, @twitter.com. But specifically, I don't want these informational emails. I could unsubscribe, but sometimes they're useful, so I'm going to look for that. You can either click search and it will find all the emails that match this search criteria, or you can create a filter. So it has found all the emails behind this dialog here, all the emails that meet my criteria, which is they're from this info@twitter.com. I don't ever want to see these emails when I open my inbox. So I'm going to tell it to skip the inbox. I don't care whether it's marked as read or not. Some people do. They don't want to see that number on their little mail icon. So they showing how many unread messages you have. So you can mark it as read if you want. You can also set up a label. So these over here are labels. You can see my my other addresses here. So these are the other labels. These are the labels that you can apply. So you can apply any of these labels, or you can make a new label. So like I might create a new label that says Twitter info or something like that. So whenever it gets a message from info@twitter.com, it's going to skip the inbox, mark it as read, and apply this label. Let's just make one. New label, Twitter info, right? And now every time I get an email from this address, it will skip the inbox, mark it as read, and give it this label. I could also delete them. I could, if someone's messages keep getting marked as spam and hiding in my spam folder, I could do that. I could always mark it as important. I could categorize it. This one right here, it will not forward things if you have forwarding addresses that you use. It can, it can take all these emails and forward them to a different address if you've set that up here. That's the only thing this won't do. So if you click that box, then all these messages that Gmail has found that are from this email address, it will do these three things to it as soon as I hit create filter. If I don't want that to happen, I can always unselect that. I would like for that to happen though. I don't want them in my inbox. So here we go. I've set up a filter to find any messages. Whoa, see, it just disappeared. So I'm going to search for that again. If it disappears, that's fine. There it goes. Hit the little down arrow button. If it goes away, there you're searching again. So it's found everything, info@twitter.com, create filter, and then I'm gonna skip the inbox, mark it as read, and apply the label. I hope it saved my label, Twitter info. There we go. And I'm also gonna apply it to those 22 messages. I messed up there, that's what happened. I clicked off the dialog window, which means the dialog window went away. So now I'm gonna hit create filter. So what it should have done is all these messages right here should be out of my inbox now. So when I hit inbox again, those messages should be gone. Let's see, loading. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so it's done it. So now I go back to my inbox, see they're all gone. I got one email from Twitter, but I'll bet it's not from info@twitter.com. It's from notify@twitter.com. Now let's say that I want to add that. I want to do the same thing with this address as I do with info. So I can select that address, I can copy that address, and then I can go up here to settings. See the little gear up here and settings? And this will open all my Gmail settings. So here are my filters and blocked addresses. And then I'm going to go down to the one that I made. I'm going to say edit. And here I want to say if it's from info@twitter.com or notify@twitter.com. Let's see. Will it find any like that? No, because this means it's looking for it to be from both of those email addresses. So I think it's and. Let's see if it does that. Oop, why did I do and? I don't want and, I want or. Or. Let's try that. There we go. So now it found all of them. And you can see some of them are still in my inbox. You can see right here, like this one's still in my inbox. These two are still in my inbox. So I'm going to hit this little arrow again to create a search, right? Continue. So now it's got my new terms. Not only will it find emails with info, it'll also find emails with notify. Skip the inbox, mark it as read, apply the label, and now it's found 36 conversations that meet one of these two criteria. And see, I used or, so it will do that. So now I'm going to say update filter, and now it should take those other however many 14 emails out of my inbox. So here we go back to my inbox, and we'll check to see, and they are all gone. Look at that. Now I've just got a bunch from my website. So I could do the same thing with those emails. If I clicked any of them, I'm not going to because it's probably got someone's name in it. But if I clicked any of them, it would probably have an email address that I could filter from, and then I could put it into my WordPress or something like that on one of my other labels. So that is how you create a filter on Gmail so that you can keep your inbox streamlined and clutter-free. You can create as many filters as you want. You saw I have just like a million filters when I clicked my settings. Remember, you can see all your filters anytime by going up here to the settings, the little gear, and there's a filters and forwarding addresses option there. So there you go. And again, there is the Outlook, which is very, very similar. Let's see, share Outlook. Very, very similar, but with rules. So you can see it's really very similar with Outlook, the options for doing that. So it'll say, do you want to filter based on who it's from? Do you want to filter it based on what the subject line says? Do you want to filter it based on who it was sent to? For example, you can say like sent to, I think you can choose, it's basing this on this because this was sent to me only, but if you're on an email list or something, you can choose, if I was one of 3 million people who this was sent to, you can filter it. And then it asks, what do you want to do? And if the options you want are not in this window, you can hit the advanced options and you can get a million different filters. So the step one, you select the conditions. So what kinds of emails do you want to get flagged by this filter? After you select a condition, you can hit next. And if you want to edit the condition, you can click that link there, hit next, then ask, what do you want to do? Once you find these messages, do you want to move it to a folder, delete it, whatever. So let's say I want to delete it, right? Next. And then any exceptions, right? Unless it says emergency in the subject line or something like that, right? So you say, except if the subject contains specific words, and then it'll ask you what words, and I can say emergency. So now you can see my little rule pretty clearly down here. Apply this rule, excuse my phone, apply this rule after the message arrives from Zoom video communications, delete it, except if the subject contains emergency. And then if you say next, you can give this rule a name. You can turn it on. You can say, please do run it on stuff I've already got in my inbox, and then finish. So it's the same kind of thing. And then it runs. And there you go. That's that. All right. So that's how to do that. If you have any questions, just send me an email. I think everybody on this list should have my email address by now. And I guess that's it. You guys know who I am, and I am always happy to provide tech help with anything at all if you need it. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.